Should we get into some nerdy news?
The news of the week.
We do have a WGA update, but it's a slightly smaller one.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
just a few things come out.
So last Friday, this came
Yes.
to our attention. Disney has Scum. Now we've been knowing this, and it's just one of them things where it's like any company that large is Scum.
Mhm.
But this is a new level of scummy I didn't even think they'd stoop to. And when you actually sit down with this news for a minute, you're going to realize how bad it actually was. So it was said on a podcast by someone who'd worked for Disney Channel that
Yeah.
the way their contracts worked, and I don't fully understand it because it's very much an industry thing, but I am aware of it, where you get paid on scale.
Yeah.
And basically, my understanding is what that means is you get paid a little bit less up front, and then if the show is successful, you end up getting paid more.
Yeah.
So what they did is for the first 3 seasons of a show, they got paid on scale at 88% of essentially minimum wage.
Yeah.
And the idea was if it got picked up for then more than 3 seasons, they would then get paid more.
Mhm.
But what them fuckers over at Disney Channel then did was after 3 seasons, they would rename the show and change something to
Well, they
make
just
it
rename
a
it.
brand new show. No, they did always change something, but like nothing that actually affected it in a major way.
Yeah.
To reset that timer to go back to paying them like shit.
Yeah.
For instance, Hannah Montana into Hannah Montana Forever.
Mm.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody to Sweet Life on Deck.
Yeah.
Live and Maddie, which I think was slightly after me, to Live and Maddie Callie style.
Yeah.
And dozens of others. And for Saturday and Sunday, all I saw on Twitter was people seeing this clip and just all of a sudden their brains clicking like, oh my God, they did it all the time.
Yeah. And it's definitely the whole on scale thing came, I'm pretty sure, from back then. Obviously, shows were sold to cable networks and different things. Obviously, Disney had the Disney Channel, but it's like if you had a show was successful, often back then a TV show that was successful would run for several seasons. Like look at Friends. So it's like obviously the on at scale thing is kind of like you think, oh well, if this is successful, we could end up with 10 seasons of this show. So it's fine if the first 3 were getting slightly underpaid because we'll make way more in the next 7. But Disney being the scum, they're just like, jokes on you. Legally,
Yeah, exactly.
this is the same show. We're going to hire you to continue. And it is a continuation of the story, but because this is slightly different and in a different location, like it's legally a whole new show. So we don't have to pay you. This is a new contract.
It's absolutely wild.
And then, do you know what though? Are we surprised at all that Disney would do this?
No, I'm not. I am, and I'm not. I'm surprised that they would do it in such a blatant and easily trackable way. But I'm also surprised that it's not been spoken about before.
Well, so that I imagine there's some level of NDA that these people have been under. Also, I guess as these actors have got
insanely common thing.
Well, it's like if all the actors and actresses, those young ones on the different Disney shows, were all in the same boat. Like they kind of just, this is how Disney's run. As they've got older, sure, maybe realized, oh, that was shitty, but like maybe they still have some connection to Disney, so they can't speak on it. Or it's like the ones that seemingly are now are just older, realize, oh, yeah, Disney's scum. We've known this. That's why I don't do anything. Like that's why we left.
Yeah.
Working with them. We thought people knew this.
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I'm pretty sure as well, like amongst that is like they wouldn't. I'm sure there was something as well about that the check, like there was something else they levied getting money from. I think it was like if it was reshown on Disney Channel and stuff, like they didn't get that money either in for the first 3 seasons. There was a lot of money taken out of their pockets for the first 3 seasons because he's
just structuring a deal so they get paid like shit no matter what.
Yeah.
Dumbass of the week. I don't know how many times I have to say this. If you are rich and you are going to say something that's going to cost you money, you don't then get to blame woke media or cancel culture or
Or the
anything.
internet.
Because guess what? 99% of the time, no one tricked you into saying anything.
No.
You just have such an overinflated ego that you think you should be able to say whatever you want with zero consequences. Or do you think everyone's just going to blindly agree with you because you're in such a little bubble?
Yeah, you think your fans are super loyal or something and would obviously share your same views, which is...
And Zachary Levy's gotten some hot water before for different dumbass things. Which for the most part I've always gone, that might just be a bit of ignorance to not fully understanding the problem. Maybe it's
or miscommunication on social media sort of thing.
A bit of just harmless ignorance. He was at a Comic-Con event, which he was allowed to be at because of the way it was structured, and he was on stage complaining about how he couldn't talk about any work he'd done. So he's like, I can't talk about a show where I used to be an IT repair guy, referencing Chuck and stuff. So and it's dumb and it's bullshit and I hate it. Now, again, he's come out, he's tried to cover his ass. He's like, yeah, no, I get why we're striking. I get all that. It's just a bit frustrating because I wanted to be able to enjoy this with my fans. Cool, whatever. Guess what? If you feel so strongly about them things that you're going out there and saying that and then having to apologize, either you're not thinking well enough before you speak, which is something you should work on anyway.
Yeah, get some proper PR training.
Or you really thought you were going to get away with it.
Probably both. Not thinking, and also doesn't.
There is no way someone whose entire job is in the public eye doesn't understand how that could come across badly.
Do you know what? I think a lot of these celebrities are of the mindset that their fans have the same views as that. Like, I don't know what it is about. Obviously, we're finding out who the kind of dumbass celebrities and dickhead celebrities are through this stuff, but it's like, it's wild seeing that they clearly think, like, they clearly don't understand how the general public are perceiving this stuff. And he probably was playing that off thinking like, oh yeah, you guys are probably like annoyed too that you've come to see me and I can't like share anything. And it's like, well, no, we all actually want people to get paid properly because we want shows.
It's craziness.
Yeah.
Once again, Disney just not reading a room. Disney and Hulu. Why do I always add the extra Lulu? Hulu have announced price increases
for the US at the moment.
For
the moment.
And apparently they're going to start cracking down on password sharing in 2024.
Yeah, they've got some new techniques or something they're going to be putting into play. Do you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure a few weeks back when we were talking about the WGA stuff, they were like, we can see it now. We're just going to like, Disney's complaining this is going to cost them so much money, like they're not just going to offset this cost onto us. Oh, look at this. Interesting. They're raising prices almost like they're preparing to have to pay actors and writers more. And they're just shifting that cost to us. And do you know what? It's not going to work very well. I mean...
Are you ready?
Go on.
Are you ready? Disney Plus generated $7.4 billion in revenue in 2022. They're putting a $3 price increase on a monthly subscription. Right, I know some people pay yearly, but if we just take that as about a 30% price increase, 30% of 7.4 billion, 10% would be 740. That's another 2.1 billion that they're going to make in revenue. There's costs, not that much. And it's going to cost them about an extra $30 to $50 million to meet the demands of the... They're still profiting in this situation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sick of it. The nerve to say that people need to lower their expectations as a CEO when you're earning 30 million.
Do you know what's also wild? These price hikes are coming out, like increases are coming in. So people are like, okay, we're going to be paying more for Disney Plus. Does this mean we're going to get more shows, better shows.
And
No,
of course it doesn't.
they're reducing how many
The output.
Marvel stuff and how much Star Wars stuff they're making. So actually, and they're taking shows off of Disney Plus that are already on there. So actually, we're paying more for less content
The
going
amount
forward.
of lost media that Disney have created because they've ripped it away from everywhere else, put it on Disney Plus. It's not done well enough for Disney Plus, so they've ripped it away from Disney Plus, and now you've got like entire fandoms that just have no access to their content anymore.
It's fun. I saw a great thing which was like someone's skit response to this, and it was like Disney was like, "Oh, but you guys liked us when like we first came out," and they're like, "Yeah, because cable was rubbish." It's like, "Yeah, but like there's ad free options or there's like cheaper options with ads." He's like, "So cable, so
But worse.
you're just becoming cable, but I don't need you. I have all these other options." And it's like, it's the point. It's like, we loved streaming services because it was way more convenient to watch the content and shows we wanted to watch. And the price was at a decent point. And we were like, okay, that's good value for money. The price and the convenience, like price is going up, convenience is going away because they're forcing like ad option tiers onto us. And it's like, or you have to pay ridiculous price to get ad free. It's like, well, what's the fucking point in this anymore? Like we don't like this, and your content's not good enough to like. People are gonna start. It's back to that thing of like some houses had Sky, some just had Freeview, some had like Virgin Media or whatever, and it's like
100%.
people are just gonna cut down on
But
what streaming services they have.
with the password sharing thing, are you ready for the crazy thing? Are you ready for what's gonna make you laugh? So there are 6 of us that share the Disney Plus account that I use.
Mm-hmm.
We all pay for it. We pay for it yearly. We split it 6 ways,
Mm-hmm.
which means it works out incredibly reasonably. Even with this price increase, it will still be incredibly reasonable. I'd have no issue paying.
Yeah.
If they're going to crack down on password sharing, why am I allowed to create an individual account for every single person?
Yeah, like why
If they
have
make
these
it so
account
that
options?
like, if they make it so that all of a sudden only like 4 of us can access it, why was I allowed to create 6? That should be something that legally you should not, on one paid for account, be able to create more accounts than people who are going to be allowed to have access to it when you crack down on password sharing. Because it's not like we're trying to hide. It's not like we're on one account and we're all trying to hide. Everyone's got their own profile picture, their own name attached to it. We're not hiding. I'm baffled.
The only crackdown that I think I would be okay with is like if it's region locked. So like I can't share my password with someone outside the UK. Because I have someone on mine that's from the US because they were like they wanted to watch the Kenobi series one time. But it's like I get if they're like, okay, we want you to stop like
but here's the problem. What if someone's traveling?
It causes issues. Do you know what I think this has come from? I think originally they weren't that fussed. Like the Disney, like as we've said, that you can make as many accounts. Like Disney was okay with like we're making plenty of money. They saw Netflix do their thing, and they're like Netflix put out like we've had the biggest increase in accounts. Not then probably reporting that a month later all those accounts closed because people were like, what's the fucking point in this? Because I guarantee what happened on Netflix's side is all those new accounts got made after the password thing happened because people wanted to finish the shows that they were in the middle of. They finish their shows and they'll cancel their accounts. Disney thinks, oh, we can make even more money, raise prices, going to get a fuck ton more accounts made, and then not realizing that actually you're probably in the long run going to be worse off.
100%. I don't know how they can be so brain dead.
Yes. We need that like we need the internet to just mass leave. Like no matter how good some of the shows are, just be like, nah, I'm out.
Collectively, as the internet, we all put 1 penny in a jar so that one person has an account. They download it all and illegally share it everywhere.
Yeah, let's get Pirate Bay up and running again.
Just put all of our resources into just making this unbring downable monster that has everything on there.
Yeah. It's
But forget the writer strike and the actor strike. Let's have a consumer strike. Because I'm so, and the problem is I don't know how to even combat it. Yeah, obviously we can go, well, if everyone just stops doing it, here's the problem. When you're paying attention to this stuff, it feels like everyone's on the same page.
yeah.
But then you get out into the broader world, most people aren't.
No, and then people only realize the price has gone up when they check their bill and like, oh wait, Disney Plus has gone up this month.
What I will say is $3 in one go is fucking steep. When it's $11 a month and now it's going up to $14 a month.
I feel like they're trying to match. Isn't Netflix something similar?
I don't know what Netflix prices are in dollars.
I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're just trying to, or like.
But the thing, what I will always say about Netflix, despite other criticisms I have of them, is for a one screen at a time account, it was always very reasonably priced. I don't know what it's like now, but it always has been, I think, quite reasonably priced. It might not be as good value now that they've lost some of the stuff that wasn't their IP.
They've also tweaked some of their tiers in America, which is a bit.
But I think the screen rule is the perfect way to do it. You pay for X amount of screens being able to watch at the same time. And if someone wants to be a real cheapskate and pay $9 a month for one screen at a time, and they want to give it to 100 of their friends, but only one of them can watch it at a time, why do you give a fuck?
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they're still only getting one view. It's not like they've got four views happening on one account. Like it's one view at a time. Like
I think they would see a lot more success if they brought their pricing down significantly, but you made it so that you pay for accounts and screens. So make it 50 cents a month for every account you want to have, and then $1 a month or $2 a month for every screen that can watch it at the same time. Because a lot of people at them prices, or maybe even $1 and $2, a lot of people will go, I will pay the extra dollar a month so that my sister, who's watching the same show as me, doesn't fuck up my viewing order.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like you would even like having the difference between 2 screens at a time to 4 screens. Oh well, I think there should be 1 screen, 2 screen, then like 4 screens. And it's like the amount of people that would go straight to 2 screen option because they're like, oh well, I share it with, well, me and my partner both want to watch at the same time, one on the phone or one on the TV, like, or my family members need it, or there's like a whole family just pay for the 4 screen one, and it's like, cool, we'll pay the extra. I think the screen option, like amount of watchable screens, is the better way to do it than trying to do password sharing. Yeah.
Good news though.
Good news.
Workers of the world unite. VFX workers at Disney are rumored to be unionizing.
At some of the main MCU VFX studios as well. As part of that.
Yeah. This is what we've been saying for months.
We said,
and the biggest problem is still going to be when they outsource it, because you've got different companies competing.
Yeah.
Unions would, but you need all VFX workers to be under the same union no matter what company they work at, because then if all VFX workers are protected the same, the studios are all going to be on an even footing when bidding for the contracts.
Yeah. We said it when the actors got involved that we just needed like the production guilds, or like, because there seemingly are some, but obviously to get all production VFX studios and production studios all under one umbrella, it's difficult. But it's good. The fact it's starting, I actually think will be a ripple effect, because what you'll see is, although there's them studios that are like, oh, we'll undercut a price or whatever to get a Marvel project, they'll be like, wait, if we're in the union, we're guaranteed this. Then like they'll be like, well, we're at least on the
We
same base level of everyone.
we need this initial unionizing to be a massive success.
Hmm.
So that then others are like, yes, okay, cool. Because there will be a lot of people now who are interested but are scared.
Yeah. I think it just needs to be, obviously, the more in it, the better, because it stops Disney just going, well, we'll screw you, we're not using you. Also, it's not even like unionization. We just need, and this is the case just in all creative aspects. But like, artists just need to stop undercutting other artists.
Yeah.
Like, you're just screwing everyone when you do that, and we just need these VFX studios to like stick to their guns more and be like, nah, we ain't doing that. Or like just collectively all be like, yeah, we ain't working for you, Marvel, unless you are paying like this minimum.
Yeah. It's hopefully it's a step in the right direction that leads
Mm.
to people getting paid fairly.
Yes.
Bye bye, ga. Scum, scum, scum.
But he's acting so nice now.
Yeah. Has come out and he's publicly told the actors and writers that they were not being realistic with. Oh no, sorry. After he came out
Yes.
and told them they were not being realistic,
Saying they were going to
he
wait till their
now claims.
homes foreclose.
Yeah, he now claims he's personally committed and with fervent hope to quickly find solutions to the issues that have kept us apart these past few months. Now, man's talking like he's ever worked with any of these people.
Do you know what that is? That is a whole PR thing just to save face because of the bad press he got for what he said a few months back. That comment about, oh, we'll wait till the homes foreclose, and that has like got latched onto as like all the CEOs are like that, and like he's been used as this. The Disney execs, let's be honest, at the end of the day, Disney board are just like, we want money. And as soon as like Bob Iger's like causing bad press that could cost them money, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is this going on? Like, well, you need to fix this. And this just feels like a PR fix of being like, no, we need to make sure the message is clear that you're trying to solve the issue, and Disney is very much. And he's like, okay, and he's gone out and said that. It's just, it feels so like empty of a statement.
It's just literally just happened. Where VFX workers have explained a little bit more why they're looking to unionize. So they are currently getting paid on a weekly flat rate. This means they don't get paid extra for overtime, hours, days, and have no protection against tight turnarounds. So these motherfuckers are getting paid, as a for instance, $100 a week, and that does not matter whether that's an 8-hour day or an 18-hour day. And if they have to work over the weekend, they have to work over the weekend, and they won't get paid more.
What I imagine is there's some agreed weekly rate, which is probably not a bad week. Like, it probably is a weekly rate that everyone's happy with. But then
if
what
that
happens?
Was for just for their 37.5, they'd probably be like,
but
yeah,
then,
that's fair.
But then it's like, what will happen is Marvel will go, oh no, the deadline for this is here, and if you don't deliver on time, in the contract there's probably something that's like, you waiver all fees. Like if you're late, you lose out on your money. So then they have to work overtime to hit the deadlines, but they don't get paid for that.
Yeah. So I'm sure the wage is adequate for a 37.5-hour traditional work week, but when probably every single work week ends up being 80 hours, it becomes less than equitable.
When studios turn around and go, oh, we've done reshoots and we need that VFX shot completely redoing, you've got like a month to do it. It's just going to be like, but
yeah,
you've already signed the contract that you will get this work done. So
it's I hope they absolutely bend Disney over and take them to the cleaners, or Marvel, who then in turn hurt Disney.
I hope they get, even if it's as basic as they get things in place that for overtime, and if things have like a rescheduling. So if there's like Marvel turns around and goes, oh, we need that shot this week now, or then they need those protections in place.
Yeah. And if this means we get less MCU or just superhero
I'm fine
content
with
in
it,
general,
but it
it's
looks better.
fine. Yes, I adore superhero content. I adore it with my whole heart. Guess what? I will happily have less of it and just suck it up and get over it if it means that the people making it get treated like fucking human beings. And
Agreed.
I really hope that isn't something that anyone's surprised to hear.
I think we can all agree on that.
I fucking hope so. um, Talking of just loads of CGI for no apparent reason, I Am Groot season 2 apparently coming on September 6th. Is it needed? No.
I wasn't expecting it. Like the first one kind of made sense because we were like,
It was a marketing tool.
yeah, it
It
was,
came out before the Christmas special,
yeah.
which was then going to lead into Guardians 3. It made sense.
And it was like filling this fun little gap of like, we get to see how Groot's grown up.
Yeah.
We've kind of then gone back to, like, we know this isn't Groot anymore. So you're just showing, this literally screams, we had however many, like say 6 episodes of like their standard Marvel. Like we had 6 other story ideas that we didn't use in the first season. Like sure, it was a success. People like Baby Groot. It's good marketing. They know people like Baby Groot because it's cute, so they know people will watch it. But it's
Yeah.
like it adds nothing. Like, is it needed? Would that
It's.
studio time have been better spent on Ant-Man?
Do you know what it is? It seems like you don't need any actors for this.
I bet Vin Diesel doesn't voice this.
I mean, they'll probably just reuse the voice they've already got recorded for him, or they've got an AI voice.
Yeah.
And they could just get the people who are overworked and underpaid VFX artists to just churn it out. This is probably episodes that were made for season 1 that never got used, that
They
they've
probably
spent
got.
the last 3 months during the strikes touching up so they had something to throw out there because they knew they were going to delay loads of stuff.
Do you know? Yeah.
Because
Do you know?
this has come out of nowhere with less than a month until it comes out.
This will be. I bet you these are all episodes that were storyboarded, and in animation, when stuff's storyboarded, it's like blocked out and it's basic animation, like real basic animated stuff. It'll have all been blocked out and they're gone, oh, we want those stories for season 1, and those have just got vaulted. And then when all the strikes have started, or like, they probably were like, oh, we could put them out at some point, let's get a studio working on them. Strikes have happened, they've probably gone to the studio, we need them now, because we need stuff to put out.
I would not be surprised to find out that the work for this was the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to the VFX workers unionizing. Because all of a sudden, this thing that they did as part of like, we're going to make 12 of these 3-minute shorts, and then we're going to take the best 6 at like halfway through. We'll work out what the best 6 are, finish them off, and then it'll be done. And they've gone back to the other ones, and they've gone, you have to finish them off. We're announcing it, and it needs to be done by the 6th of September.
It wouldn't surprise me if they've turned around and gone, oh yeah, we want these done now.
Uh-huh.
And it's like the studio's gone, are you paying us more to like, no. Oh, okay. Cool. We'll see you down the road in court.
Exactly. So this is a message I sent you.
Yes.
That
Wild.
I wasn't sure if you knew any of, so I needed to like catch you up first. So there is a very infamous Spider-Man comic that has been referenced a lot, I feel like, in pop culture. But people never really seem to know if it's true or if it's just a meme. So, I want to say 2006. Let me just double check that.
How long ago?
Yeah, December 2006 through to Marvel 2007 was a Spider-Man series called Reign. Not spelt like the weather rain. Rain as in like a reign of terror. And I don't know a lot about the actual story, but one of the most frequently spoken about parts of it is as part of the story, it becomes apparent that Spider-Man's reproductive systems
Smooth.
are radioactive. And as a result of fun time with Mary Jane, she develops cancer.
So weird.
Yeah.
What young intern wrote this story?
Put it this way. I've just Google searched.
Oh no.
Spider-Man cancer spunk.
Why would you even...
The top link is the Wikipedia page for Spider-Man Rain.
Okay, at least it's a Wikipedia page, I guess.
So yeah, someone in their infinite wisdom has decided to make a sequel.
Do you know what this feels like? I joke that, like, some young intern comes up with a story, some horny writer, just having fun. Some young comic book fan read that comic, thought it was fucking hilarious, loved the story, thought it was just like we're memeing the shit out of it. Yeah. Has got an intern or job at Marvel and gone, I know what I want to do for my first story. You know that comic that you guys hate hearing about because you regret it? I want to make a second one. I feel like it's some youngster, this like young writer, they read the first comic and they're now finally working at Marvel and they're like, I can finally make the sequel. I can continue this story.
So I'm just having a little look here. And it looks like the actual story of Rain.
Okay.
It's 30 years in the future.
Right.
New York is now safe, but it's under authoritarian military police style stuff called the Rain.
Okay.
Peter Parker's a fair bit older.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's glowing green.
Essentially has to essentially come out of retirement when the Sinister Six starts.
Right.
Let me just have a little look here. At Peter's apartment, J. Jonah Jameson delivers packages. Years of abuse. Told to Daily Bugle he wasn't realized. Jameson leaves and starts a riot, which leads to a fight against two Rain officers. Meanwhile, Parker opens the package, revealing a camera and his old black suit mask. He defeats the officers wearing only the mask and his underwear, imagining himself in his prime. After Jameson asks if Spider-Man's back, Peter punches him and walks away silently. So by looks of it, Peter's also a massive dick in this.
Well, I think you would be if your balls were glowing green.
It seems like...
It seems a weird...
It seems like they tried to make a really dark Spider-Man story, a la a kind of like The Dark Knight Returns.
But then just sprinkled a bit of...
It's been overshadowed by a very weird decision.
Yeah. I don't think we need a second one.
So the second one probably has nothing to do with Cancerous Spunk. But when they announced they're doing Rain 2, the only thing anyone was talking about is why are they making a sequel to the Cancer Spunk story?
I need an audio clip of you just saying that.
Cancer Spunk. There you go, you got a good one.
Oh. I don't know. It's an interesting choice to pull that one out of the vault and continue.
It was a choice that was made.
Maybe they thought, it's been long enough. People will have forgotten.
The internet never forgets.
Exactly. Why do I feel like they've announced it and then they've gone, shit, they've not forgot. Let's just not talk about that now, and maybe they'll forget again, and not ask us where the sequel is.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure it's been called The Rain 2 as well. They may as well have called it The Rain and see if they, like the old school, like the joke
just
on the
restart
internet, like, Disney actually have a rule about the way people have to behave at Disneyland. It's called Rule 34. If you Google Disney Rule 34, you'll find it. They should have just released Rain and hoped that it did well enough that when people Googled Spider-Man Rain, that would become the top search.
Yeah.
But no.
No. It's not happening.
Adam Devine, face man person,
Nice.
was one of the guys in Pitch Perfect
He was.
and was in a couple of seasons of Modern Family.
He
And
was.
I want to say Workaholics, he was one of the main characters in.
Possibly. I don't know about
Let me just double check that. I'd never watched it, but I feel like I've
that.
seen a
No,
lot
I
of
never
clips from it.
saw.
Yeah, he was. He was the main guy in it.
Okay.
Was on a podcast. And basically what he said was Marvel ruined comedies.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of all that was really said. He's like, Marvel came in and now studios don't make comedies anymore. They ruin comedies. And it kind of got taken out of context with the way the podcast was cut together and then the way the clip was taken out.
Yeah, and then the article fully
Yeah.
just took it out of context.
So he had to rectify it, and it's on a few times I think celebrities actually rectified something they've said, and I fully go, yeah, they've just taken him out of context completely. Yeah. So what he said was, I like Marvel films, I greatly enjoy them. My point was, because of the success of them, to make the money to make films like that, they stopped making mid-budget comedy films, and I miss them.
Yeah.
Which is a completely valid take.
Yeah. Everyone's trying to make a blockbuster now.
Yeah, exactly. No one wants to do the Ace Ventura Pet Detective
now.
No. Which, I mean, is a problem. And it's completely... And I think it's just the way everything works. But he's been very funny on Twitter since it happened. So this is the tweet. Where he rectified the really bad article, because the Variety article was really bad.
Yeah, it was.
As a guy who loves movies and TV, it's cool to be in Variety, but this is misleading. I like Marvel and think that the movies are cool. I was saying that studios, in trying to compete with Marvel, have stopped making mid-budget comedies. I miss seeing comedy in the theaters.
Yeah. Valid point.
I think in the clip you can kind of get where he's coming from with that, although that wasn't cut together very well. Yeah. And then once you've got a written article that just takes the snippet they want in written text and then builds this whole article around it looks a lot worse. But he's had a lot of fun since then.
Nice.
First flight was late and missed my connection. It's Death at American Air fault, but I feel like it's probably also Marvel's fault.
Oh, I love this.
Somehow my American airline flight is delayed again this morning. Marvel!
Oh.
And then someone responded to one of his tweets. I feel you, Adam. It happened to most of us who were flying on August 8th. I decided to rebook my flights, but it kept delaying, and after 2 days stuck in Tampa airport in LAX, I was able to fly back to my hometown, the Philippines. And they just quote retweet that and gone, do we think it's Marvel's fault? I mean, Adam Devine is, I think, a very good comedy actor.
Yeah, I would agree.
I've seen him in a couple of things. I've not seen loads of his work, but all the stuff I've seen him in, he does a good job. I feel like there's not many out-and-out comedy actors anymore. I feel like the best comedy actors we see now are actors who just then get given a comedy role and happen to do very well.
Yeah, they're good at kind of a bit of everything, sort of thing.
But yeah, it's wild how quickly stuff can spiral, and him going from I miss comedy so much, and it's because Marvel are doing such a good job, to just an article like Adam Devine says Marvel are scum and they should all burn in a fire.
It's the classic, and so it being Variety, it's not really. It's not a surprise, is it?
It's crazy because they sometimes give us like news that's worth keeping hold of, but then they do like think pieces and they go to shit. Just report actual facts. Like, so-and-so has been delayed. So-and-so has been cast. They're good at that. They're semi-reliable at that for something as influx as production and casting. Then it gets to think pieces and it just all goes to shit.
Well, yeah, you get to the intern that needs to hit so many stories a month and they're like, oh, shit, I need to pull a story out or something. Yeah. Glad he's had some fun with it, though.
Yeah.